Welcome to part 4 of a 10-part series on the best HR software of 2026. In this episode, it's all about compensation management software, the tools that help organizations plan, administer, and communicate employee pay. We'll cover the best options for small, mid-market, and enterprise organizations, as well as industry implications. But before we dive in, this video is sponsored by several HR leaders, including our title sponsor, Paycom, as well as our other sponsors and partners, HRSoft, Dayforce, Bamboo HR, PDS, and Paypro. What a stellar group of platforms. You can learn more about each of them through the links in the description. All right, let's dive in. What is compensation management software? Compensation management software helps organizations plan and administer how employees get paid, including salary, bonuses, merit increases, equity, commissions, and total rewards. It's the infrastructure that turns a compensation philosophy into decisions at scale. At the simplest level, it's a merit cycle tool. At the more sophisticated end, compensation management software includes market benchmarking data that lets you compare your pay ranges to the market, pay equity analysis tools that surface unexplained disparities before they become legal or reputational issues, total reward statements that communicate the full value of an employee's compensation package, and incentive compensation management for organizations with complex commission or bonus structures. Best compensation management platforms for small businesses. For most small businesses, compensation management isn't a standalone software purchase. It's a feature that's within their HRIS or HCM platform. You may not need a dedicated compensation management system when you only have 20 employees and one person handling HR. What you do need is salary history and compensation records in your HRIS, a clear view of what each employee earns, when it changed, and why, a basic merit cycle process, even if it's lightweight, a structured way to run reviews, total compensation visibility, the ability to show employees the full value of their package, salary, benefits, equity, bonuses, and more, especially when competing for talent. The good news for small businesses is that several platforms give you solid compensation management functionality as part of their broader HR offering, without requiring a separate tool or a large budget. Here are several compensation management options consistently chosen by smaller organizations. Note, these are listed alphabetically. I recommend taking a screenshot and returning to this list later, then setting up demos. There are also links in the description for detailed feature breakdowns in the Select Hub platform, as well as analyst scores. There you go, good compensation management options for small businesses. Before we move on, a quick shout out to our title sponsor, Paycom. Unlike systems that bolt together separate tools, Paycom is truly all in one, meaning payroll, HR, time tracking, benefits, compliance, and more all live in one database, with no data re-entry, no app hopping, and no security weak points. Even better, Paycom is built on automation. Their AI engine, IWant, gives your workforce permission-based, command-driven access to employee, candidate, and management dashboard data. Just ask a question and it pulls real-time answers instantly, no navigation required. And with automated time-off decisioning, schedule management, and payroll processing all running in the background, Paycom is designed to take the never-ending flood of administrative decisions off your plate. Thanks to Paycom for supporting this series. Check them out through the link in the description to see if it's the right fit for your organization. Now, back to the show. Best compensation management platforms for mid-market organizations. Mid-market is where compensation management starts to get complex, and where the gap between winging it in Excel and having a real system becomes very visible. You've got more job families and levels to manage, more salary bands, and more benchmarking data to keep current. Your merit cycle now involves dozens or hundreds of managers making decisions simultaneously, and you need a system that tracks budget utilization in real time and routes approvals appropriately. Pay equity is increasingly a legal and reputational concern, and you probably don't have dedicated compensation analysts to catch problems manually. Mid-market compensation management buyers typically look for salary band management, the ability to define, maintain, and visualize pay ranges by job level and location, and flag when employees fall outside range. Merit cycle workflow automation, budget allocation, manager recommendation inputs, approval routing, and final payroll sync, all in a guided process. Market benchmarking integration, connections to salary survey data from Radford, Mercer, Willis Towers Watson, etc., or built-in benchmarking tools. Total rewards communication, branded statements that show employees the full value of their compensation, especially useful during retention conversations. Here are several platforms often chosen by mid-market organizations. Again, screenshot this list, and there are links in the description for SelectHub's feature-by-feature comparisons and analyst scores. A little extra research could save you significant time and resources. Best compensation management platforms for enterprise organizations. At the enterprise level, compensation management becomes a global coordination priority. You're running merit cycles across dozens of countries, each with different currencies, pay practices, and regulatory requirements. You're also managing multiple compensation plan types simultaneously: base, bonus, equity, commissions, allowances, for a workforce that spans business units with different pay philosophies. Enterprise compensation management platforms need to support global compensation planning, multi-currency merit cycles, country-specific eligibility rules, and localization for different pay practices across regions, complex incentive plan administration, sales comp, executive incentives, equity vesting schedules, and long-term incentive plans, managed in one system with auditability, predictive modeling and scenario planning, what-if analysis for budget impact, what happens if you apply a 3% versus 4% merit pool, and how comp decisions affect retention. Integration with finance. Compensation decisions need to flow into payroll cleanly and into financial forecasting systems accurately, especially at the executive level. Governance and audit trails. Regulatory scrutiny on pay equity is increasing globally. Enterprise compensation systems need complete documentation of every decision, every change, and every approval. Here are several platforms consistently chosen by large enterprises. Screenshot this list and dive into the links for SelectHub's feature-by-feature comparisons. Links to the SelectHub platform are in the description. Again, a little extra research here could save you a lot of time and resources down the road. There you have it, an overview of the best compensation management software in 2026, from smaller organizations through to enterprise. For more resources, including pricing guides and SelectHub's database of feature comparisons, check out the links in the description. One more big thank you to the sponsors who made this series possible, including our title sponsor, Paycom, as well as our other sponsors and partners, HRSoft, Dayforce, Bamboo HR, PDS, and Paypro. Each of these brings unique value depending on your organization's size, industry, and compensation complexity. Links to book demos are in the description. I'm Devin Hennig with SelectHub. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.